In a world constantly pushing us to earn more, how often do we stop to question if our pursuit of money and wealth is truly leading us to a richer life? So many of us find ourselves overworked and stretched thin, constantly striving to achieve that extra income. But is all this effort and stress actually bringing us closer to true fulfillment? Could it be that the way we think about wealth is what's actually keeping us from the abundance we seek? Join me as we dive into Buddhist wisdom to explore how it can transform your relationship with money, unlocking both spiritual richness and material prosperity along the way. The Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared." Imagine if wealth worked like this. When shared, it doesn't diminish but instead grows, bringing more abundance to everyone it touches. Picture a life where you're surrounded by all the riches the world has to offer, lavish comforts, a life adorned with luxury. It sounds wonderful, right? But sooner or later you might begin to feel that something's missing, a quiet emptiness beneath it all. In Buddhist teachings, wealth is like fire. It has the power to both warm and burn. It can light the way, but if we're not careful, it can also blind us to the deeper truths of life. The world often measures success by material wealth, teaching us to chase money and hold it tightly. But what if this relentless pursuit, driven by fear and the desire for more, is actually blocking your ability to attract abundance? Buddhism invites us to reflect on a profound question. What does true wealth really look like? Is it something you can hold in your hands, or is it something you carry within? It's as if the harder we grasp for money, the more it slips through our fingers, like trying to hold water in our palms. Why does this happen? Could it be that the very act of chasing makes it elusive? In Buddhist thought, wealth is neither condemned nor wholly embraced. It's like a river, a resource that, when directed with wisdom, can nourish and bring life to those around you. But when left unchecked, it can flood, causing more harm than good. To understand how wealth can lead us astray, Buddhism introduces us to two essential concepts: Dukkha, the Buddhist term for suffering or dissatisfaction, and Sukkha, the state of happiness or ease. Both relate to how we experience life's impermanence. Dukkha is that feeling of unease, that inner nervousness you can't quite shake, even when everything on the outside seems fine. Have you ever achieved something you've worked so hard for, only to find that the happiness it promised fades away too quickly? Or maybe you've felt a heaviness in your chest when a relationship starts to shift, leaving you with questions and uncertainties. Dukkha isn't just about pain or sorrow. It's that restlessness that arises when we cling to the impermanent. It's the discomfort of unmet desires, or when what we cherish slips away. This feeling is a reminder that what we often chase after is fleeting, encouraging you to pause and reflect on what really matters in your life. In contrast, Sukha represents those moments of harmony and joy when everything simply feels right, a gentle reminder of your deep connection to the world around you. It's the lightness in your heart, not just a fleeting joy, but a profound contentment that fills your entire being. It's that peaceful awe you experience when watching a breathtaking sunset, the inexplicable joy that stirs your soul. Buddhism invites us to cultivate this state of Sukha, showing us that true wealth isn't something we seek outside of ourselves, but something that arises from within. So how does money and wealth fit into this picture? When we let wealth become our anchor, tying our happiness to what we possess, we automatically step into the realm of dukkha. Think of dukkha as that feeling of unease that can creep in when we realize that our happiness is tied to something outside ourselves. Wealth, like all things in life, is impermanent. It can be lost, spent, or taken away. When our peace relies on external circumstances, it becomes fragile, ready to shatter with the slightest disturbance. But here's the silver lining. Wealth doesn't have to be a source of suffering. From a Buddhist perspective, wealth becomes a powerful means for Sukha, when used with purpose, when it flows from generosity and an understanding of its impermanent nature. It's not the pursuit of money and wealth itself that leads to suffering, but our attachment to it. Think of it this way: the more you release your grip, the more abundance naturally flows to you. Let me share the story of Prince Siddhartha, who later became known as the Buddha. Born into a life of unimaginable luxury, he was shielded from the harsh realities of the world. But one day, when he left the comfort of his palace, he encountered the raw truths of life: aging, sickness, and death. In that moment, the wealth he once prized seemed shallow, like a thin veil hiding the deeper realities of existence. This awakening set him on a path of letting go of attachment to material things, teaching him that true freedom is found in the mind, not in possessions. You don't have to give up everything, but it's helpful to reflect on your relationship with wealth. Does it act as a source of comfort, bringing security and compassion to both you and those around you? Or does it weigh you down, feeding desires that never seem to rest? Consider the Buddhist concept of karma. What you give, you receive in return. When you choose to give generously, you send a powerful signal to the universe saying, "I have enough to share." This act of giving not only enriches your life with purpose and deeper connections, but also aligns you with the energy that naturally attracts abundance. In this way, you become a magnet for wealth and prosperity. True giving, however, must come from a place of genuine generosity. When giving is driven by an expectation of receiving, it feeds the energy of lack, a scarcity mindset, and ultimately leads to more dukkha, suffering. But when giving is pure, it transforms wealth into a force for good, nurturing not just others, but your own spirit as well. This beautiful paradox reminds us that when we loosen our grip on wealth and allow it to serve a higher purpose, we open ourselves to a wave of abundance that transcends material gain. It's like water. When left to move freely, it nourishes everything in its path, bringing life and renewal. True fulfillment doesn't come from holding on to wealth, but from letting it flow in ways that uplift and connect us. Perhaps you're wondering how to harmonize material wealth with spiritual fulfillment. Buddhism offers a timeless roadmap through 3 transformative practices: generosity, mindfulness, and non-attachment. These principles invite you to cultivate a life of balance, where abundance flows naturally and carries a deeper sense of purpose. By embracing these practices, you create space for both inner peace and prosperity to coexist and thrive. Start with generosity, simple acts of kindness given freely, like offering your time to help someone or sharing a meal with a friend, without expecting anything in return. Notice how each gesture, no matter how small, brings a sense of richness rooted in joy, gently freeing you from the binds of scarcity. Next, practice mindfulness. Observe as desires rise, linger, and dissolve, like when you feel the urge to buy something new, then pause and notice how that desire fades with awareness. This mindful awareness transforms wealth into something you welcome rather than chase, a source of peace when held lightly. If you feel resistance or tension around this, pay attention to how your energy shifts in relation to money. Finally, explore non-attachment. Let your wealth flow like water in a stream, nourishing all it touches without the need to control it, such as by freely gifting to others or investing in experiences rather than possessions. The more you release your grip, the more you become a magnet for attracting abundance and prosperity. When you stop clinging, you make space for wealth to flow effortlessly, drawing more of it into your life. Even the Buddha himself said, "There is no satisfying the senses, not even with a shower of money." It's a gentle reminder that real happiness isn't something you can buy, it's something you nurture from within. In Buddhism, wealth is seen as a sign of positive karma, a blessing that comes with the responsibility to share. When you give, you create a cycle of kindness and abundance, a ripple of positive karma that enriches not only you but everyone it touches. In the end, True wealth is felt not in our pockets, but in our hearts. It's the peace you feel, the compassion you share, and the love you nurture. As you continue your journey, ask yourself, how can I use what I have, both material and spiritual, to create a better world for myself and others? And watch how this approach transforms your life, drawing in all the blessings and abundance life has to offer. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking and sharing with others who might benefit from the video, and join us for more reflections on conscious living and the path to true happiness. May you keep manifesting those ascension vibes